The front staff of the Indiana Fever had 4 non-negotiables going into this offseason. At all costs, keep their elite backcourt together. To prevent teams from simply intimidating them in the paint, add actual bulk up front. Add players who can both score and defend at the same time to the wings. Look for a backup guard who doesn't cause you anxiety each time Caitlin Clark takes a seat. In addition to 2 unexpected names, 15 free agents have expressed a desire to play for the Indiana Fever alongside Caitlin Clark. If this roster is assembled, we will demonstrate why it is designed to reach a championship in 2026. Who should the Indiana Fever sign in free agency, in your opinion? Tell me in the comments section below. The Fever had a very precise objective going into this offseason, and every decision they made was motivated by a single issue from 2025. Teams discovered that making Caitlin Clark's life physically difficult slows down the offense as a whole. Stephanie White, Amber Cox, and Kelly Krakoff came up with 4 non-negotiables. Give up the backcourt, add the actual size up front, put wings out there that are capable of both guarding and scoring, and locate a backup guard who doesn't freak out as soon as Clark takes a seat. Only 3 players have contracts as of right now: Michaela Timpson, Aaliyah Boston, and Clark. Indiana has about $5. There is still $6 million in cap space available for everyone else. Caitlin Clark did not sugarcoat the fact that she referred to reigning Kelsey Mitchell as the Fever's top aim. Clark claimed that Mitchell, a star player who essentially talks her through it, makes things really simple for her. Work plays to avoid making a mistake. They're not ruining it. Before Mitchell ever goes on the open market, they are locking her in with the core designation. She could command supermax money under the new collective bargaining agreement, and other clubs would quickly line up. Clark would lose her main running buddy without Mitchell. Every night, the entire offense would become more difficult to execute, and defenses would only have one guard to strategize around. Azora Stevens, a 6'6" forward for the Los Angeles Sparks, is ranked second on our list. Furthermore, she didn't exactly hide her fascination with Indiana. Players don't just happen to repost photos of themselves wearing Fever jerseys on Instagram, as Stevens did. Her effectiveness doesn't need her to camp in the post, which is what makes her such a perfect match. She fits perfectly next to Boston without taking up the same areas because she can step out and make threes, move to guards and pick and roll coverage, and run comfortably in transition. Teams that try to neutralize Boston by going small versus Indiana are suddenly confronted by 2 bigs who punish that from all angles. Distinct regions. Atlanta Smith is already aware of the location of the coffee maker. Before moving to Minnesota, she played for Indiana, and despite her failure, the Fever did not let her go. They simply ran out of space for the cap. Smith made money via the Lynx. Late-game minutes from a coaching staff that doesn't give them away for free. That informs you exactly where she is at the moment. What she fixes on offense is more significant. Because Indiana's power forward position was not intimidating enough to deter them, teams were sending extra guys at Clark in pick-and-roll coverage. Mitchell gains driving lanes, and Clark gains pull-up opportunities when Smith sets screens, moves to the corner, and attacks closeouts. In addition, she is the current Defensive Player of the Year, which will ease Aaliyah Boston's pressure when they play the largest post players in the league. Nneka Umik showed that she can still score in the post, defend several positions, and keep a locker room together during a demanding season by winning a WNBA championship, receiving many All-Star selections, and playing for Seattle in 2025. That kind of veteran participation is unprecedented for the Fever, and it shows. Placing on paper, having her next to Boston seems crowded, but Agu Mike plays out to the perimeter and handles the ball in the short roll, so it's actually not. Therefore, they are not in competition for the same places. Teams who already find it difficult to account for Mitchell and Clark now need to locate a third defender who can stop a post core. Championship teams go for Brianna Jones because she won't be in anyone's highlight reel. She was more than simply a body occupying space in the paint during her 2025 season with Atlanta, boxing out hard, denying post position, and finishing around the rim at a percentage. Additionally, Jones has every reason to relocate to Indiana now that Angel Ree has moved to Atlanta. Because Jones takes care of the grunt work, offensive boards, hard screens, and roll man defense, and she frees up Aaliyah Boston to do what she truly excels at, scoring and blocking shots. Jones most likely doesn't cost star money in terms of the salary cap. Thus, Indiana may add her without reducing their options for the more well-known players currently on this list. Satou Sabally stands 6 feet 4 inches tall. She is one of the most sought-after wings in free agency since she can guard 1 through 4 and scored goals with Phoenix in 2025. Agency at the moment. Because Clark and Mitchell aren't giving up those ball-handling repetitions to anyone, it's important that she generates off the bounce, makes three-pointers off movement, and is completely at ease being the second or third option. Indiana is particularly enthused about the defensive fit because the Fever got guards with the ability to drive and finish attacked them on the wing during their elimination from the playoffs. That kind is guarded by Sabally. A wing scoring 15 points or more on top of everything else is simply too much for defenses that are already overextended by Clark. In 2025, Gabby Williams played for Seattle, making the opposition's guards unhappy, and the it is not even fully displayed by the box score. She is quite lengthy. Before the ball advances, she reads passing lanes. Additionally, she doesn't lose a step when switching from a speedy two-guard to a forward. Stephanie White can thus essentially direct her towards the person who needs to be prevented at night. What Williams accomplishes for Clark in particular is the paradoxical part. And Clark does not expend as much energy on defense and comes at the offensive end fresher when Indiana has a player who locks down the team's top perimeter scorer. In Seattle, Williams and Agu Mike had already developed a rapport. Indiana now has 2 seasoned players who know how to win together, thanks to the acquisition of both guys. In 2025, Monique Billings played for Golden State in any capacity the Valkyries required. And Indiana's bench has been lacking just that kind of adaptability. She sets screens, rolls hard to the hoop, defends several positions, rebounds, and doesn't gripe about her playing time. In 2025, the Fever's second unit had a terrible tendency to return leads. Bilding took up the entire first quarter for the openers. Additionally, Billings is the kind of guy who prevents such things from occurring because she just doesn't remove belongings. She is most likely a mid-level signing in terms of capability. Indiana can therefore add her without having to spend any of the funds required for the larger targets on this list. In 2025, Ray Burrell performed well on a Sparks team with virtually little organization. And the fact that those data came in disarray really made her more fascinating rather than less. She performs more when she is placed in Stephanie White's system with real ball movement and spacing. Burrell scores on screens, dribbles, and catches. She also shoots 3 points well, sufficient to prevent defenders from simply abandoning her. The aim would be to get a player who develops during the course of the contract, rather than one who is already at her ceiling because she is still maturing. When every corner poses a hazard, opponents are unable to retreat. Sophie Cunningham is the athlete who makes opposition wings reconsider driving baselines, and her fans like her for it. Every night, she toys with a grudge. Regardless of the circumstance or the matchup, she gets into the bodies of ball handlers and does not back down from anyone. In 2025, she was hindered by injuries. However, the Fever's defensive identity entirely shifted once Cunningham was healthy and in that starting lineup. Because Mitchell can't turn quickly enough to close out on her, and Clark's defense is already overburdened, her corner three-point shooting is also a true weapon. By keeping Cunningham, Indiana is demonstrating to the rest of the league that it is not undermining its successes. As a Stanford defender who put in a lot of effort and competed every night, Lexi Hull entered this league. She has developed into a starting wing with a three-point shooting ability that teams must genuinely respect. The player who initially donned a Fever shirt is quite different from that. Indiana won't have to overpay to match any contract she receives because she is a restricted free agent. Hull can protect slower forwards and faster wings, and she doesn't freak out when she becomes attracted to a larger person. It took 2 full seasons for Clark and Hull to establish genuine on-court trust. The second highest scorer in NCAA history is Kelsey Plum, a woman's basketball history immediately behind Caitlin Clark, and she wasted the majority of her potential while playing for the Sparks in 2025. Indiana has been attempting to find a backup guard since Plum can run an offense on her own when the starters are resting, scores from wherever, and draws fouls at an absurd rate. She has spent her entire career as a primary ball handler, so the fit question is legitimate. However, Plum has also shown that she can operate without the ball in her hands and score off the catch. Winning is more important than touches at this stage of her career, and Indiana has both. Odyssey Sims has been in this league long enough to be able to identify every blitz, trap, and defensive tactic meant to remove the ball from the hands of the guard. A film session or a training camp is not the source of the experience. In the mid-range, she crafts her own shot. My tight games don't scare her because she's been in postseason circumstances. Since her career has been disrupted by injuries, the real worry is availability, distinct points. However, she is a potent scorer when healthy. The majority of second units are just not comparable. When Clark takes a break, Sims keeps the offense going. Those minutes are no longer a break for opponents. Ari McDonald can outpace about any guard in the league due to his speed. Additionally, she competes on defense with a level of ferocity that the majority of reserves simply do not bring off the bench. The opponent's backup guard cannot just enter their sets while she is on the floor. Over the course of a 40-game season, they must struggle for every catch, which wears people out. At Clark's, she also oversees the offense. Pace are allowing Indiana to avoid slowing down each time Clark checks out. Availability is the real challenge. In 2025, McDonald struggled with injuries, and an inconsistent backup guard spot puts more strain on Clark. In 2025, Kia Nurse spent the entire season with Chicago but was seldom mentioned, nationally and only as a result of the Sky's lack of success. Her film is good, and the front office of the Fever watches movies rather than statistics. The nurse finds open teammates in transition without exerting any pressure, handles the ball, shoots off screens, and defends several perimeter locations. Playoff basketball won't frighten her because she has participated in high-stress international competitions with Canada's national team. Additionally, she doesn't require the ball to remain active, which is crucial when Clark and Mitchell are already in charge of things. After rebuilding her Chicago team, she is most likely offered at a cost that doesn't destroy Indiana's remaining cap space. Now for the two that no one anticipated, Liz Camaige and Kennedy Carter. In Chicago, Carter scored more than 20 points per game on average. She is as talented at mid-range as any guard in the league, and she can get to the hoop against anyone. The rationale behind her friction, to put it simply, is available. His teammates and coaches at earlier stops. However, since Carter would not be able to carry the franchise, Clark's presence completely alters the situation. While defenses chase Clark around, she would simply receive open looks. Camaige stands 6 feet 9 inches tall. She has performed abroad for many years, and Indiana's $78 million venue is the perfect opportunity for her to return. The lack of infrastructure was the reason she departed. It is now. The Fever is not rebuilding. Boston and Clark are locked in. Mitchell will return. Additionally, a front office that was reactive for 2 years is now actively seeking out the people they want. Each player on this list truly closes a gap. Wing defenders who can stop perimeter scorers, size against athletic teams, and scoring depth to ensure Clark is not carrying everything by herself, as well as guard depth to prevent her from recording 36 minutes every night till something malfunctions. Who should the Indiana Fever sign in free agency, in your opinion? Tell me in the remarks section below. Subscribe, like, and activate all alerts to ensure you never miss anything. When we click the video on the screen, I'll see you at the next one.